Hey everybody, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. We're going to continue where we left off as we now investigate the Leaden Key information that we had last time. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down and blinking over the bustle of harried academics, pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Thelmore groans and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own, but a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it. They are up to something, and I am trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You'll report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Ravua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belisage. I'm curious as to how you've come to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, he laughs, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death? Somewhere, someday I would wake up in a new body none the wiser and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humor me and consult over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Tell me about the sanitarium. A history lesson. This is a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls, came to populate its streets in droves, thus the sanitarium. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion and animancy, much like today. So, much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But, in time, it was forgotten as all things are. Since then, we have been at the forefront of animancy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in some ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today it's, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand. So, it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke, absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Aver may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. Sounds like we need to go downstairs, talk to a specific animancer, as it looks like she might have the information we need.
How do you do?
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Akosi! Here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? Have you noticed anything unusual or suspicious here lately? It is rare for me to notice things that do not relate to my work, even when they are in front of me, Cientere amico, but I am not the best choice to help you with that. Something else you need? I'm looking here for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ach, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gallarde, who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adirans are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. His eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with ADRA lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Kana peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Ezelmira more? I like that lady. She raises a finger. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Scythewood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. What do you remember about your home? As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the midst of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Comfortable, modest, quiet when Mother was away, which is most of the time. Quiet enough to hear the clink of glass on wood. This is when I know to be most careful. Father is good about hiding the bottles. Mother, when she is home, is good at pretending not to notice them. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots glistening with fresh polish thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Medico! Belisage furiously cranks the knob along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him back out of it. Quickly. I almost have it. You're safe. Everything's fine. Lot's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's ne'er safe when I hap upon him. Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in air. That warm molasses feeling that grips down your gut when crisis is nigh. Belfetto, we have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Isomir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isomir? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair, too. Ye should ask what I did that odd man of this. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I brack it in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with ye, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through this scupper. Ach, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I tracked Isilmir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. Sagani's eyes are wide and innocent. It does seem as though she got one thing right. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? You're close, I think. Isilmir's appearances are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well, and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with the quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. It seems that Isilmir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or hindrance. From my position, I'd say it's pretty clearly a hindrance. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Rudar. He does not look at Belisage. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been as useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Ravua. Funtre, Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what ye've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this. Especially not after her nonsense. Let's see. Do we want to do that? How do we go through this? Because I'm trying to think what's going to boost our stuff with the town. Because we need Defiance Bay to go up still. Okay, that last check, the last piece of dialogue about Aloth and Isilmir actually could have had some trait changes, but I did not. Um, I did not make a decision that actually goes one way or the other. I did one that actually doesn't change anything. Seems it doesn't matter if I let him steal them or not. Um, fair enough, but do it quietly. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Yeah, I'm gonna let him take those because I think it's only fair that he gets to keep his secrets. It's his life, not hers. And if he doesn't want to be published, that's his consent to give.
Hail and well met.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her, row by row. Her motions quick and skittish, like a bird's. She does not notice you until you are nearly upon her. Oh my, you startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating any suspicious activity in the sanitarium. Oh, I'm just Master Azo's assistant. He'd know more about that, but he's in the middle of an I mean, busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out from the patient ward. If there's nothing else, I need to get back to work. Is Azo busy with patients? Or is he running some sort of experiment? I'm just an assistant. It's not my place to gossip. I'm sorry. How do I get into the patient ward? Only Master Azo has access. I guess Head Warden Ethelmoir does too, but he's, a statue now. Farewell. Yeah, we'll do that, actually. Yeah, talk to Ethelmoir about Azo, because that was, while not suspicious activity was told to us, that was suspicious in part on her end. Also, we did level up, so yay! I'll do that in a second. I'll do that between videos because I want to get stuff done today. And we had a very long conversation there as we did that quest.
Well met, friend.
Have you learned anything of interest? Maybe. Is Cademan Azo running experiments on the patients here? Experiments? Cademan Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Cademan. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I am granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Alright, so we will do our best not to start trouble with the patients down there. But we will also defend ourselves if necessary. Is how it sounds, is the plan. So let's get on in there. Oh, Alotha didn't get that level up. Boo! The head warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Yeah, which is why we're gonna save. How's it? Everybody else got that level up but him. Okay, we'll just level up now before we get into trouble. Immunity to frightened and terrified. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, there we go. Need that for sure, because our Wolfie keeps going down the most, unfortunately. Oh, Aloth had leveled up before everybody else. That's why. Uh, he's leveling up faster, strangely enough. Okay. So that would explain why we gotta. And we'll do overbearing guard, so we're a little built different. So that way everybody's not built the same. Their families leave them in this place. Alright, let's try to find him. He's gonna be somewhere around here. Probably in there, because that's locked. If I were to take a guess. Okay, we need the proper key. Got it. Nice, some lockpicks. That's good. Always good to have a few extra on hand. We can always quickly go back this way. This is where he should be, but he obviously isn't. Okay. Oh, let's close that door again, actually. We're gonna steal from here. Little could one know that the man who once destroyed part of his own country with fire would become the Deerwood's most beloved leader. Martyred in the war he started to free his people from an oppressive rule, there isn't a Deerwoodan who doesn't know of or revere Admeth for what he did. Strangely, even though there are records of his father Edring's childhood, and even though he was raised in nobility in the Deerwood, while it was still a deer territory, information about Admeth's early years is nearly impossible to find. Admeth is not known for his childhood, though. He is known for saving the Deerwood and uniting it with its sworn enemy, the Galanfathans. In 2652 AI, the Deerwoodan troubles with their fur-cloning war at a boiling point. Several of the earls under Edring's rule, provoked by the imperial court in Adir, resumed looting the ruins around Deerwood that the Glanfathans held sacred. When the Glanfathans finally retaliated, it was overwhelmingly brutal and resulted in a slave uprising. Galvanregd, whom Edring had fought before, resumed control of the Glanfathan troops. Regd was also able to convince some Delumgan to join the fight. Edrang was at this point far too old to lead his forces into battle, so he sent his son Admeth in his place to contain the threat. Admeth, true to form as the son of Edrang, and obviously having learned tactics from his father, made a dangerous but effective tactical decision in order to prevent Reg's troops from using. Okay, so this is just a history book. Okay, never mind. I was hoping there would be something about what was going on here, but no, just a history text. Good, but not for what we're doing here. Why am I struggling
I'll
here?
take a look.
As you wish.
Do we have to ask this guy for... Keep your distance. Wick's in that cell back there. We've had incidents when people got close. Okay, so how am I supposed to get where I need to go? I guess I'll have to look. No visitors. So I guess we'll have to figure out how we get in. next time, as we are out of time. So, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you really like our content, check out the Patreon, which is linked down below, where you can watch our content before it's released publicly on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our Discord, also linked down below, so you become part of our community. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.